Dear students of Honors Part 4, you welcome to the class. Hopefully, you are taking necessary safety measures to keep yourself safe from COVID-19 pandemic. And those who are aged over 25 should take vaccine and please get yourself registered for vaccination. Dear students, you know I am Siddhartha Shankar, an assistant professor in English in Government Horoganga College, Munshiganj. We are discussing Agamemnon, the great tragedy by Aeschylus. Today, I am going to focus on the character of this tragedy and one of the most major characters of this tragedy, that is Agamemnon. Basically, the name of this tragedy has been after him. Though he is not the central figure in this tragedy, but he is the tragic hero. Agamemnon indeed is a ambiguous character. Sometimes we find him as a good guy, sometimes he is bad, sometimes he is confident, sometimes he is confused, sometimes we find that he is piety, and sometimes we find that he is disobedient to gods and goddesses. Therefore, a lot of variation is there in his character, but the fact is we find him in this tragedy for a limited period of time. In fact, he is not present in the halfway of this tragedy. After the halfway of this tragedy, we get him for a limited time, but yet for this limited presence, we get some good information about this great hero, this tragic hero. Dear students, at the beginning of this play, we come to know about him from Watchman, and the Watchman praises him, and the Watchman admits that in absence of Agamemnon, the country lacks something. That means they feel, the people of that country, of the people of Argos, feels the absence of the great hero, their king Agamemnon. And from the chorus we come to know about the background of the war, the Trojan War, and the reason why the Greeks participated in the Trojan War. You know the background that Helen eloped with Paris, and to save the prestige of the kingdom, all the kings of all the Greek kings get together and went to participate in the war. But from the chorus, we came to know that it was the direction of the supreme god of that belief, that is pagan belief, that is Zeus or Zeus. Zeus is their god, the supreme god. So, according to the direction of Zeus, Agamemnon went to the Trojan War, or he participated in the Trojan War, and he was selected as the commander in chief. Therefore, he was obedient to the god, obedient to the gods and goddesses. Therefore, here in this for his participation, if we consider the reason behind his participation in the war, we find that Agamemnon was a obedient person, a pious fellow, and he followed the direction of God, and he uh, participated in the war as a commander in chief. Later, on the way to Troy, that bad winds keep the Greek fleet at Olias or Olis, and there the ship stuck, and it was not moving. The fleet of ships were not moving, and then the soothsayer Calchas told that they should make happy the goddess named Artemis, the goddesses of virginity, and uh, that soothsayer Celsus told that Artemis wants to sacrifice his daughter Iphigenia. And Agamemnon brought her daughter to the ship and sacrificed her to please the goddess Artemis. So here uh, there is a question: has he not another choice? Should he has the only choice to sacrifice his own daughter? This is here we find the absence of affection and family responsibility in Agamemnon. Therefore, we cannot consider him as a very good person here. Here, the sympathy of the readers or the audience has been got back or has been driven away from Agamemnon. So, Agamemnon here is somehow not sympathetic. Here, he is considered as a cruel hearted father. He is not a good wisher of his family. Therefore, we the readers feel that he is a cruel person and he is devoid of our sympathy, the sympathy of the readers. So, uh, here we find that he is ambiguous character, but if we consider in another way that he sacrificed his daughter for the greater benefit, for the greater achievement, uh, because all the kings has got together to fight against the Trojans. Now it is not the time to get back, rather he has to do something as a commander in chief. If we consider in that way, we will find that yes, Agamemnon did that, or did that Henoas did for the sake of his troop, for the sake of his troop, as a commander in chief, he did so. But here in this particular tragedy, we lose our faith, we lose our affection or sympathy for Agamemnon. And here in this tragedy, we find that after coming back from the war, when Agamemnon's troop won the battle, they came back, and after coming back, Agamemnon made a big speech in favor of god and goddesses, and he told that god and goddesses should be thanked, because without the help of the gods and goddesses, it was impossible for them to win the battle, and therefore he was thankful to the gods and goddesses. So here we will find that Agamemnon is a pious dude, and he has a lot of respect for the gods and goddesses and a lot of faiths for the gods and goddesses. Again, after his speech, Clytemnestra allured him or motivated him to walk over the purple fabrics or red carpet. And you know that Clytemnestra had a vile conspiracy against him to kill him, but he didn't know that. And to make the gods and goddesses angry, she plotted that red carpet scene. And Clytemnestra tries to get him to work on the red carpet. And at the beginning, at the first, he was confused. Agamemnon was confused, and he decided not to walk over the red carpet. So here again we find that he is a piety person or a believer, and he believes in gods and goddesses. Again, his wife allowed him, or facing the bullying of his wife, he decided to walk over the red carpet because he was in confusion. Here we find that he is not in he is not confirmed, he has no firm personality here, rather he is oscillating or wavering in his decision. What should he do? When Clytemnestra told that King Priam would walk over the red carpet if she was if he were alive, and in that when Clytemnestra told like this, uh, Agamemnon decided to walk over the red carpet because he didn't want to give Priam any chance to walk over uh, red carpet. So here we find that he is a foolish dude, foolish guy. So he was not sure what should he do, and he finally he walked over the red carpet, and the motive of Clytemnestra was successful, and she was successful in his action, and Agamemnon walked over the red carpet because he didn't want to want that Priam should have the last laugh. So a lot of variation in the character of Agamemnon. If Agamemnon at the beginning, here you see that he is a patriotic zeal we find in him. Again, he is cruel to the family. He sacrificed his innocent daughter. Again, you find that battle after the battle he came back to Argos, and he was praising the gods and goddesses very in a uh, in a very good way, but when he was allured by Clytemnestra, he decided to walk over the red carpet, and that was showing dishonor to the gods and goddesses. Here we find a lot of confusion in him. He is not confident enough. What should he do? Though he was a commander in chief in the battle of the Troy, we see that he lacks some uh, he lacks some that qualities to be a commander in chief of such a great troop. Hopefully, from today's discussion, you have understood the some basic thing about the character of Agamemnon. So, thank you, dear students, for watching today's class.